Hi everyone, Manuela Marchigiani from Isomer Skincare. Welcome to Confessions of a Cosmetic Chemist. This is the program where we talk about skincare ingredients, a little bit of behind the scenes in the industry. I'm a cosmetic chemist with over 35 years experience formulating skincare technologies, creating problem-solving skincare, also manufacturing out of Toronto, Canada. And I welcome you to the program. Today, we are going to talk about retinol and retinol alternatives. Retinol is a very popular ingredient and popular topic in skincare. And the reason for that is because of the actual science that has to do with the vitamin A acid itself, which is the retinoic acid. Retinoic acid has been found to be clinically probably one of the best ingredients to use in skincare for many things. So when you're using retinoic acid in one of its purest or forms, we're talking about something that can actually treat acne. It's going to help stimulate the skin, helps with cell turnover. So when you're dealing with something in an early skin stage like acne, retinoic acid is the thing that's going to do it. It really is a cure. Now, whether it's topical or whether it's ingested, they both work to a certain degree. Retinols are a different conversion. They are a over-the-counter form of the retinoid. So you have the retinoid, which is the umbrella term, retinoids. These are all of the acids or all of the ingredients that are going to fall under this vitamin A derivative element. The highest form being your retinoic acid. You can have tretinoin, which is what you apply onto the skin, and it's by prescription, or you can have isotretinoin, which is Accutane, which is what you take orally. These help with acne, oil production, really can cause physiological changes on the skin. So they really are considered medicine for the skin. When you go to lower versions or different conversions, moving away from the actual acid to something like a retinol, retinaldehyde, retinol, these are less strong, over-the-counter, non-prescription versions. These go into your skin and are 1, 2, or 3 conversions away from the retinoic acid itself. So the benefit of a retinol is going to be the fact that it can help your skin. It can heal your skin from acne. It can work on scars. It can work on collagen quality. It's something very good for people that are in their teenage years that have problematic skin and breakout. You can use it in your, middle years, 20s, 30s, 40s, when you want early signs of aging. Maybe you have some superficial damages on your skin. It's going to help with cell turnover. It's going to help with the collagen. It's going to help with fine lines and wrinkles. As you're older, it's going to help you stimulate more collagen. And this is also going to help with your skin weave as well. It's going to promote firming and tightening the skin. So as you can see, retinoids, not only are we going to have a long relationship with them, they have different benefits at different parts of our life when we're using a retinoid. This is why we like retinoids. Retinoids are powerhouse ingredients. They are known for their ability for transforming the skin. And this is why we love them so much. The retinol, the form of vitamin A that is very popular now, has been around since the 1970s. And it is something that was originally, as I said, used for acne. We can see the treatment of the acne. With the treatment of the acne, scientists started to notice, people started to notice that their skin quality would also improve, their skin thickness would improve, their collagen quality, the density, the visibility of the pores, lines and wrinkles. All of this started to mitigate. And this is why retinoids have become a mainstay in the skincare industry. So learning about them is important. Learning what they can do, learning about the different forms can be beneficial too. Learning that because it's such a great ingredient doesn't mean it's easy to use. One is it doesn't mean it's easy to formulate with, because it can oxidize. It can be very finicky in formula. So how you formulate with it, you want to make sure that it's a stable form. You want to make sure that it's protected. You want to make sure that anything within the formula itself works really well, like holds it together so that when it goes into your skin, it delivers exactly what you need it to do at the right time, at the right level. This is very important. The other thing is, even though it gives you all of these benefits, it's very, very difficult on your skin. It is one of those things that comes with a lot of baggage, a lot of irritation, and you need to have a not heavy hand. You need to have a very light hand when you're working with retinoids. You need to understand the fact that this is a powerful ingredient and it's a very good ingredient, but you need to be careful. Less is more. It will be irritating. It can damage your skin if not used properly. You don't want to force your hand with a retinoid. You want to go slow. Usually they say go low, go slow. And there's a lot of merit to that. And the merit is the fact that when you go at a lower dose for your retinoid and you don't apply it every day, maybe you apply it every other day or every third day. So you start, 3 to 4 times a week. Studies show that after 6 months, after a year, your skin is actually in better shape than had you been using a higher dose and cycling on and off based on skin tolerance. So this ability to use a high dose for a few days or weeks and then come off of it while your skin heals and go back on it, which is how a lot of people use retinoids, this is not the ideal way to go. And I find too that I have seen clinically people who do that when they come into the office at Isomer's. I've seen scarring, I've seen irritation, I've seen discoloration that is permanent, right? So, and sensitivities that are permanent, especially on the neck area. There's always like this where maybe your face can tolerate a little bit more the chubbier area of the cheek. But a lot of women I've seen come in and they have a lot of demarcation on their neck, the sensitivity from using a higher dose, using it incorrectly. Even though they say, you know what? I got this over the counter. I got this at the drugstore. I got this for only, $20 or $30. And it shouldn't. It's the fact that you overload with this ingredient, not knowing its potential, not knowing that you should be using it correctly and sparingly. It is a great ingredient, but you want to make sure that it is used properly because its molecular structure is such that it does penetrate. It can cause and does cause structural changes. It does stimulate certain things. And there's 3 sensitivity receptors in your skin designed specifically to protect your skin, to protect you, right? So when your skin gets inflamed and irritated, it is speaking to you. It's telling you, this is too much. I don't like it. And if we ignore that, the skin can't do much more than that, except now start to deteriorate, become much more vulnerable. So it's really important to pay attention to the retinoid and to pay attention to how your skin is reacting to it when you want to use it. Retinoids can be animal-derived, and they can also be lab-created. Usually nowadays, lab-created ingredients are always the more ethical way to go, and it's how a lot of the formulations are done. The benefit to a lab-created ingredient, now a lot of times people say, I like something that's natural. I want something that is not lab-created. I want something that nature's created. I want to use that. I feel much more comfortable. And people don't mind if it's animal or plant. They just want it to be a natural form. The thing is, an ingredient is always better, in my opinion, when it is touched in the laboratory by some method. And what do I mean by that is that when you have a lab-created ingredient, it is created to a specific duplication or efficacy. So it's created in such a way that we've created a structure. So we understand its structure, we understand its potency, you can almost guarantee a concentration. When something is in a natural state, you can't always guarantee the concentration. You also will have a lot of impurities, other elements that are in there that we cannot control, cannot isolate out, right? And they can have other effects that may or may not be beneficial to the skin. So having a lab-created ingredient always, to me, is always something that it creates a better outcome, in the formula, more predictability in how you're going to use it, also better tolerance for the skin, and easier to formulate with as well because you don't have the possibility of impurities, a possibility of things synergistically adding or subtracting to your result. That's why we kind of like the lab created form of an ingredient. The benefits, I don't want to miss any of the benefits, so I have them here listed, but the benefits of retinol. So for example, improved skin texture and tone. Retinol is going to smooth the skin. It's going to help with the overall tone of the skin. It's going to resurface the skin. So this means what? This means when you're looking at your skin and you see your pores and the pores are enlarged, or you're touching your skin and your skin is a little bit rough, just think about this is all being refined. This is what it's going to do. It's not going to do it in one application or two applications. This is what it works towards day in, day out, 2, 3, 4, 6 weeks down the road, right? It's a little teeny renewing, refining at a time. Reduces fine lines and wrinkles. Now, how does it do this? A couple ways. First of all, it's going to help with the severity of lines and wrinkles when you're looking them and visibly looking at them, especially if they are through dryness and dehydration, because when you get the exfoliation and the new younger cells come out, they're nice and juicy. That's going to plump up the skin. But the other thing that the retinoid does, which is really cool, is it sends a signal into the skin or actually interacts with the skin, and it creates and boosts collagen production. Any kind of trauma boosts collagen production. It's part of an injury response, right? And so this retinoid works in that way. This is why collagen peptides are so interesting too, is that they try to mimic the communication of a retinoid in the skin to create an injury response, to stimulate more collagen. And so when you're dealing with fine lines and wrinkles, yes, you have the exfoliation, you have the plumping of the skin, but you also have the creation of new collagen, the stimulation of new collagen. And the more collagen you create, you have to think about collagen like threads. So you can go something like a 200 thread count, so like a burlap sack, to maybe an 800 thread count, like a fine satin or silk. That integrity, when you're looking at the skin, that skin's integrity is so much better. So not only are you smoothing out the skin, you're also improving that skin quality. That is a real important thing for skin as you age. You want your skin quality to go up. This is what we talk about anti-aging. When we talk about anti-aging, we don't talk about we hate aging and we're going to, stop the aging. What we're saying is we want to improve your skin quality. We want to make your skin stronger, tighter, firmer, smoother. We want to make it fitter. We want to make it more able. Like younger skin, the younger skin or younger bodies are usually fitter and stronger. They don't have those, they haven't gone through that aging process. And so with the skin, the retinoid helps to make the skin in a way fitter, helps to make it really helps anti-aging, enhances collagen production. Again, this is really important, enhancing the collagen production, stimulating the collagen production. When you are 40, 50, or 60 like me, your body is creating collagen at a much slower rate than it used to when you're in your 20s or teen years. Also, you're your own donor. So I'm making 60-year-old collagen. But if I use a retinoid or if I use a collagen peptide, I can potentially turn on my 20-year-old collagen or my teen collagen. I'm turning on a younger form of collagen, which means it is better than me just being my own donor. It's actually enhancing my collagen and boosting. So this is what we call about enhanced collagen production. The quality of the collagen changes, the quality of your skin will change. Increased cell turnover. Exfoliation is important. We want to exfoliate a little bit every single day. Usually we exfoliate at the rate of our age. What does that mean? That means that, when usually people exfoliate about 15 to 21 days, right? So your skin exfoliates 21-day cycle. When you're 30, it's about a 30-day cycle. When you're 40, it's like a 40-day cycle. Just think about it that way. And as you get older, your skin cell turnover slows down. almost like your age. So I'm 60. Mine's probably a 60-day cycle. So what does that mean? That means for 60 days, this skin kind of hangs out and lingers on the surface. What does that mean? It means that it's going to look dull. It's going to look sallow. It's not going to be vibrant. It's not going to be soft and smooth. The younger skin is going to be stuck underneath. So when you're using a retinoid, what is it doing? It is correcting that cell turnover. So it's creating a more regular cell turnover, a younger, more youthful cell turnover. That's also anti-aging, right? The performance level of the skin improves. So instead of being a sluggish skin, it's a stimulated skin. This is why we like these ingredients, because it helps to normalize and regulate and put things on a different routine. Reduce acne, breakouts, and blemishes. Okay, so it's going to work on clearing your skin. It's going to work on the bacteria. It's also going to work on the inflammation. This is important because we can have hormonal acne at any age. Hormones are what is causing it, right? So when you're younger, your hormones are very active and you're going to have more breakout. But when you go through menopause, for example, all these breakouts happen again. And you will notice that you get these, and you get acne, you get the breakout, you get the blemishes, you get the redness, you get the irritation. Retinoids help with that. They reduce the inflammation. They keep the pores clean. That's really important to have that inner cellular exfoliation to get rid of the inflammation as well. So it's very good at keeping the skin nice and clean. And it finally, skin tone, color, and discoloration. This works because the cell turnover. If you have stained skin from the environment, the sun has hit you, you get a little bit of sun damage or some UV damage, and you have superficial discoloration or marks on your skin, it's going to be able to mitigate this because of the cell turnover. And that will be very quick because it's very shallow. But if you have deeper pigmentation issues, skin tone issues, it will also work on that over time. Again, it's not something that works quickly, but it's going to help fade dark spots, hyperpigmentation. It helps even out your complexion. So you see all the benefits. Tons of benefits at every age and every stage. This is why making a retinol, making friends with retinoids is a really good strategy in your skincare. Retinol versus retinol alternatives. We talked about the pros and cons of the retinoids. We talked about the fact it's a very good ingredient, but it is savage. It can sensitize your skin. Highly effective, can be irritating. So a lot of people want to go for alternatives. So what are the alternatives? And I don't want to miss out on anything here. So we're going to talk about the alternatives to retinols. First of all, you have retinaldehyde. It's a precursor to retinol. It converts more quickly to retinoic acid, and it's less irritating. So retinaldehyde, it's kind of one conversion away. Then you have retinol esters, less potent, right? And this is probably the most, I would say the most popular form of retinol would be the retinol ester. And the ester is designed, again, you still want to use a low dose and go slow. It's usually 2 conversions away from retinoic acid. This makes it even easier to use. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get the irritation, right? It just means that it's easier to use. Bakuchiol, this is the plant-based alternative. So that would be like number 3 alternative. I've seen, I'm kind of like both ways on the bakuchiol. We formulate with it. There are a couple of formulas that we do utilize it. People call the natural retinol. A lot of people do like it. I personally don't see it as beneficial as retinol. I do see it as something that for someone with super sensitive skin or someone who tends to keloid, it's a great alternative because it's better than nothing. Okay. It also helps get you into a good skincare routine and good skincare habits, which that functionality alone, that behavior alone takes you a long way. So even though the effectiveness of that ingredient, I would say, is at a lower level, it's also very low on the irritation, but very high on the functionality, on the discipline itself of skincare, which then nets you out a better result and better benefits. Because this type of habit is going to give you better skin than having an erratic skincare routine where you actually don't have a structure and you don't have ingredients that are always building on the same behavior for the skin, such as a bakuchiol, or a retinol. Vitamin C's are considered alternatives for retinol as well. And I can see that in the aspect of a vitamin C is an antioxidant. Retinols are antioxidants. I can see vitamin C as skin brightening. Retinols are skin brightening. And I can also see that vitamin C's also help with the formation or the stimulation of collagen, the creation of collagen. Vitamin C is a cofactor in that conversion or in that process. And retinols, as we know, also help boost or create collagen. Very much similarities. Vitamin C, again, is going to be much gentler. Depends on the version of the vitamin C, but that is an alternative. My favorite, though, alternatives for retinols, are going to be the peptides and growth factors, right? So we have matrixyl collagen peptide. Matrixyl collagen peptide, I love it. Why? Because it's micronized collagen, procollagen type 1. So let's go back to when we talked about being our own donor. 60-year-old, you're going to be making 60-year-old collagen, right? 40-year-old, you're making 40-year-old collagen. But when you introduce something like a matrixyl peptide, you're introducing a fragment of procollagen type 1 that literally is baby collagen. That is like the type of collagen that children have in their skin, babies have in their skin. You know, this is like the youngest version of collagen. This is kind of teaching an old dog new tricks. This is why I like the introduction of a matrixyl peptide. Also, to go even further, when they created matrixyl and when they were studying it and when they presented it at the dermatology convention, they had already conducted studies and compared the peptide to retinol and to vitamin C. And what they found was the peptide performed better than retinol and vitamin C. Why? Because now, this is where when you read a study, you have to read it properly and understand what they're saying. In some ways, they want you to walk away thinking, ooh, this is way better than the retinol and vitamin C. I look at it a little bit differently because it is better, but it's also not better. It's different. Here's where we're going. It's compared to retinol and vitamin C for what? Skin smoothing. Cell turnover, supports the dermal matrix, reduces visible lines and wrinkles. So it's going to give you all of those things. The retinol and vitamin C may give it to you in a higher, quicker reaction, right? But the matrixyl will do a really good job. So it's better in all those categories because the other part of it is zero side effect, zero irritation, zero sensitivity, zero danger of being in the sun. And you have to worry about being in the sun with the vitamin C and with the retinoid, right? Especially with the retinoid, the vulnerability, the pigmentation issues. So when they're talking about this has been studied and compared to retinol and vitamin C, you have to see what is it that they're talking about in particular. They're not just ruling it all out. The retinol and vitamin C, especially the retinol, has a very big role to play. But the matrixyl can play some of that role as well if you can't tolerate the retinoid. I like the ability to use a little bit of both. Like I like the whole idea of using, the collagen peptide every day or 3 times a week and a retinol 3 times a week, not every day. I wouldn't go every day. Choosing the right retinol and retinol alternatives. And this is why we want to talk about these choices or those 5 choices. Even growth factors could be very good because they're going to help thicken the skin, right? They're going to have cellular communication. And this is what really good for growth factors. I always think of growth factors as like fertilizer to the skin. As you're getting older, your skin is thinning out. It's losing its elasticity. You're losing the weave and you're losing the memory, the elasticity. So what a growth factor is going to do is going to create more density and creates more elasticity into the skin. As you are going through your skincare journey, as you're going through your life and you have different goals with your skin, you're going to choose a retinol or a concentration or a format that works to address your specific needs. Problem-solving skincare is very important. Knowing what the problem is and how to solve it. So the factors factors to consider when choosing a retinol alternative: your skin type, your skin sensitivity, your skin needs. Tips for evaluating ingredient safety, patch test, and research. Find out as much as you can about the product, the formula, the ingredients, and also always do a patch test. Don't just take someone's word for it when they're saying, this is a retinol alternative or this is a low dose and it's going to be you're fine, No. Put it here, put it on your inner arm, put it somewhere maybe on the back of your neck, and wait 20 minutes, wait 30 minutes, see what's going to happen. See, are you reacting? Because a lot of times it could be the ingredient, it could be the formula. You want to make sure that it's suitable for you. These are always steps that you have to take, unless you have industrial strength skin. And I yet have to find somebody who has industrial strength skin. It's interesting, especially when you're using good actives, how quickly the skin reacts or responds to it. And it's good to always, test it out. Test it out for yourself and see what your tolerance is. Sensitive skin, retinol esters or bakuchiol. If you tend to keloid, again, retinol esters or bakuchiol, or matrixyl collagen peptides, growth factors. Mature skin, retinol, retinaldehyde, very good. Peptides, very good. Anything that's going to stimulate, anything that's going to awaken, anything that's going to brighten the skin and increase that cell turnover. The idea here is the retinol goes into your skin and helps facilitate a functionality that hasn't been working as efficiently as it should because of your age or your stage, right? So this is why we want to use the retinol, because it does have the ability to clear out the skin, stimulate the skin, work on the lines and wrinkles, work on your pore size, work on different things at different times. But knowing that, okay, I've got sensitive skin, or I'm going to be in an area where, it's a summertime, I'm going to be more exposed to UV, I'm going to be outdoors a lot. Use a different format. This is a great time to introduce a bakuchiol, for example, or a matrixyl peptide in your skincare routine when you change the seasons. And when you go into the winter, then you can maybe go into more of a retinaldehyde, right? And maybe combine it with a peptide for a real stimulating anti-aging effect. There's a lot you can do. The trick is, and I want people to understand, is you can create blends that are going to be more effective at low doses than picking one at a high dose. You can create blends that are going to be more gentle on your skin, but more beneficial to your skin than picking one at a high dose that causes a reaction. You think, no pain, no gain. Not true in skincare. Pain, no gain. In a bad way, not a good way. Okay. Tips for incorporating retinol into your skincare routine. This just makes common sense. You're going to start slowly. You're going to start 2 to 3 days a week at nighttime. A lot of people, a lot of dermatologists out there, a lot of professionals and scientists will say it doesn't matter. You can use retinols day or night. The only one that I say doesn't matter is if you're using a collagen peptide or a bakuchiol. Doesn't matter day or night. But the actual retinol that converts to retinoic acid, nighttime. Couple of reasons. 1, sun sensitivity. 2, it doesn't really work when it is exposed to UV. It kind of neutralizes it. Remember, it's also an antioxidant. Remember, when the UV is hitting it, that's bringing you free radicals. So it's going to work and it's going to sacrifice itself to neutralize, the unpaired electrons. So it kind of zeroes itself out. This is also another reason. So yes, there is a sensitivity issue, but there's also a performance issue. So it really doesn't make sense when you want to use skincare and you want to actually maximize its result and maximize your investment. Daytime, nighttime matters in retinols, matters a lot in its performance, and it matters a lot in how your skin is going to behave. So you want to start slow. You want to use it at nighttime. You want to use sunscreen in the daytime. You're going to say, but the retinol's at night. Why am I using sunscreen in the day? Because sunscreen protects your work. It protects your skin, but it protects your work. If you don't use sunscreen, you tear your skin down faster than it normally would. Because every day we're aging. Every day there's a bit of wear and tear. And when your skin is naked and it doesn't have sunscreen on and you're outdoors in the elements, the sun, the UV is kind of chewing up. Just think it's breaking down your collagen. It's breaking down the proteins, right? And when it breaks it down, you're going to have a few things that are going to go on. There's going to be discoloration. There's going to be a weakening. There's probably inflammation. You're also going to see lines and wrinkles, right, as these things deform. When you use a retinol at nighttime, it's trying to, mend, repair all of this stuff that happened during the day. That's what the retinol is doing. If you don't wear sunscreen, you're not protecting the work that the retinol has done at nighttime. You're just going to have to, it's like a vicious circle. You're never going to get ahead. So a lot of times when people say, I've been using these things and I don't see the result, I always say, what's your daytime routine? You tell me what you're using at nighttime to fix your skin, to restructure, to go in there and we've engineered these formulas for you that go in and reprogram. But in the daytime, you're just allowing it to be unprotected. And so it's not going to work. So you want to make sure you use sunscreen. The other thing is you want to make sure that you are also moisturizing your skin. And there's many reasons for that. The retinols do dry out your skin to a certain extent. This is good because it's going to help with that cell turnover, but you need to increase the hydration of your skin. And the reason why you want to increase the hydration of your skin, it's going to allow it to work more efficiently. It allows the retinols to work more efficiently after. It also helps with cell communication. So the cells do talk to each other. And if they have a good hydration system, the cells can communicate properly. So the retinol will work better, but the skin will work better. Everything works better. So hydration, good moisturizer is not just for the feel. There is a structural importance in how your skin signals. We know that there is communication that happens between cells. So you want to help with the cellular communication. This makes your ingredients work better, makes your skin works better, it leads to better results. Hope you enjoyed this conversation on retinol and retinol alternatives. The importance of the retinols, you understand they're going to play a big role in your skincare throughout your entire life. So it's good that you can get as much information as possible on them, on the different formats, what your options are, how to use it properly, and how they can benefit you at different ages and stages. I look forward to your questions and comments. Please, down below, I want to see an engaged community talking about the skincare ingredients. What topics should we be covering next? What's important to you? What suggestions do you have? What do you think about these ingredients? And what have you seen? The pros and the cons. I look forward to all of your feedback. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, have a great day.